So, I've only just started back on my Fallout thing, Prime Video series. I just started back on it today with season episode 1. Glorious as usual. Just plain glorious. And yeah, and back to the one guy who's still kidnapped and shit underneath the vault, whatever. That was craziness, but along with the fact, even more fucked up experiments where the fuck was happening in that part of the 20th century. There was many actual things happening, but my gosh, just take that to a whole other level. But anyways, great so far. You know, I started on like episode 1, but then again, I don't know why I'm still thinking this. Like even throughout like the first season, and I know they kind of explained it, but at the same time though, I wonder like I know there's like a reason of like the whole redevelopment thing and like us versus the ones that are above the vaults, that kind of deal. But at the same time though, I wonder, since they really did keep the actual brilliant minds underneath, how bright are they if they couldn't allow the use their brilliantness to like solve the actual problems like happening above? And I get there's a whole like nuclear war thing before the events of the show, and so along with like kind of during the timeline of the show, because everything's connected. So anyways, there's that. But yeah, that whole nuclear war thing to like end all wars, but yet at the same time they separated the vault dwellers from the above so they could like repopulate and like let them have the ones that are above it, essentially. Okay, so, sorry, I know his name's for the game, but sometimes I lose track. So, anyways, just bear with me here. But anyways, yeah, the ones above, they let them die up first so they can repopulate. And I'm just sitting there wondering, it's like, it since you guys are so brilliant below, why can you somehow prevent the chaos like above? And I get after like nuclear war, there's bound to be chaos happening anyways. But at the same time, though, just I wonder, if the River Blade once could like prevent all the chaos. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. But then again, sometimes that's happened with geniuses where they get to the point where they use their genius for weaponry. That kind of deal. But at the same time, though, you think with such many people, they could have used their brilliance um, for like the betterment, the actual true betterment, and like try to prevent the chaos above or whatever. I don't know. I just asked so many questions, but I'm sure at least some of them were answered, but I'm not sure if that one specifically be answered since they are following a timeline of the video games. With this season, seems like the New Vegas part of the timeline. I guess I never played the games, but I know at least about them. I'm aware of them, especially like Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 76, which I don't know how that appears on the timeline, but it appears somewhere in the timeline. And I know I saw like an official timeline once that actually enough goes back all the way to like the Middle Ages somehow, which is wow, that's just great. That's like going way way back. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. I just have so many questions, but I'm hoping at least get something answered this season. Um, but at least we're beginning to realize how like much the guy that calls himself the Ghoul, I believe, yeah, how much he was involved in Voltec and stuff. You definitely saw some of it, like the first season, but in this first episode, second season, you definitely get to know more and more about that part of him, along with the Okidoki Girls dad, and stuff. So yeah, interesting so far. But anyways, sorry for rambling out here, but that's I share my thoughts so far on like the series since I just watched it, and sometimes I just don't know what to talk about. But yeah, yeah. Again, apologies for the long ramble, but just thought my thoughts out loud really about it. So, fun times, fun times.